Storytelling is one of the best methods of teaching, hands down. And that is because stories are known to be the old age technique to getting anybody's attention, especially students. So, if you want to get your students full attention, and I'm talking 100% of their attention, and also for them to get engaged with whatever topic you are teaching them, even if you're teaching the most boring topic or boring subject ever, you need to start incorporating storytelling in your teaching technique. A simple storytelling method I use is with the use of storybooks. And the best part is that you don't necessarily need to know how to create a book. You can literally give just a prompt and you get a storybook. So I'm going to be showing you exactly how I actually created these books using just my phone and in a matter of 1 minute. Let's get right into the video.
The first step is I'm going to open up my Google Chrome and type in Gemini, and it's going to take me to this website. You can go check out the link in the description box where you can just click and it's going to land you on this website. Now once you're here, you're going to click this blue button which says start your story, and it's going to take you here. Right now I'm viewing this using the desktop side view, so you can switch to the desktop side view if in case you don't see it like this. Now sometimes you might not see this storybook option here, so what you're going to do is just use your finger and expand and then click on these 3 lines and then make sure the storybook option is highlighted, and when you tap on that, it's going to open up this option, and this is exactly what we need. So we're going to go ahead to give it a prompt, and this is where we're going to give the prompt where it says ask Gemini. Alright, so this is a prompt where I wanted to generate a storybook titled The Magic Midnight Book, and it's for 7 years old, and it's all about these 2 best friends who actually discovered a magic book which grant their wishes. Once I'm done giving my prompt, I click on this arrow and let's wait. And oh my god, this tool generates a beautiful storybook for me with the cover page as well. You just need to tap on it and it opens up to the different pages, and you can see how beautiful it is. It doesn't just generate a storybook, but it generates the images for the storybook as well. Alright, now let's go ahead to see how we can actually use this tool to generate interesting storybook for a particular lesson that we want to teach our students in class. Now, I'm a chemistry teacher, and let's say the topic I'm going to be teaching the students this week is periodic table. But then there are some images that I want to be included in this book. There are some particular images I want this tool to use to generate my book. So I'm going to come to where it says Ask Gemini and click this plus sign. Click this upload file option. And it gives you the option to actually upload the different images that you want to use to generate your book. And then next I'm going to give my prompt. So I've asked it to generate my storybook using the images that I've uploaded, and I've also given it a specific title to use and also the author's name. And let's wait and see what it's going to generate. Alright, as you can see, this is the book it has generated, and this is the cover page of the book. It has used the images that I've provided and also the title that I want, and also the author's name, which is by Teacher Risa. Again, you just need to tap on the book and it's going to open up to the pages and then you can read. Now, another great thing about this tool is that you can actually listen to the book instead of you actually reading. All right, so it has an audio feature where you can actually play and the AI tool is going to read out the book for you. Now at the top right corner, you're going to see an option which says listen. Now when you click on that, you can actually listen to the book as a podcast, right? Now this is one of my students who actually got access to this book. I'm going to be showing you how I share the book later on in this video, but for now, once they have access to the book, they can just read it through, or they can go to the top here and listen to it as an audio. So at the top here, they can click on this drop down arrow and you can see the different voice options. You have the high pitch voice and the lower pitch voice. You can just click on start from beginning.
Rachel and the periodic table. Rachel holds a strange paper full of letters and numbers and runs to Teacher Bell. Teacher, what is this? It looks so hard. Teacher Bell smiles. This is the periodic table, the alphabet of chemistry, just like A to Z helps us read words. Teacher Bell explains. Imagine the periodic table is like a bustling city. The columns are like families living together, called groups, and the rows are like long streets, called periods, where everyone lives down the block from each other. First, meet Group 1, the alkali metals. They're super playful and very reactive, always ready to make new friends with a little spark. Next, Group 2, the alkaline earth metals. These are the strong helpers. They build strong bones and muscles, keeping us healthy and active. Rachel sighs, feeling a little overwhelmed. Teacher Bell, there are so many names. How will I ever remember them all? Teacher Bell smiles kindly. Don't worry, Rachel. Let's make a magic phrase to help you remember. Teacher Bell writes a long, fun sentence on the chalkboard. Hey, he like better boys coming near our field new nation magnify all silly pod, so cling Arab keep Cameroon. Rachel beams. Wow, the periodic table isn't scary at all. It's a fun adventure map, and I know all the characters now.
And so that is how the students are going to see the book. But how did I share the book to the students? Now, the downside of this too is that you cannot actually download the book, but it has an option where you can actually share it. At the top right here, you're going to see this share button. When you click on that, you can see it says shareable public link to Canvas, and the link is still creating. So once it's done, just copy the link and then you can send to your students. And that is how they will be able to get access to the book. All they need to do is click the link and they will have access to this book. They can just open it up and read it and also listen to it. So I created another book and here's the prompt I gave it. So I asked it to generate a fun, colorful illustration science storybook which explains the different method of separating mixtures to 7 to 10 years old. Be very detailed but keep it simple to understand. And then I went ahead to give it the specific title I want it to use for the book and also the author's name. And of course, I also uploaded an image I wanted to use as reference. And this is the book it generated. So let's click and open it up. So this is how it's looking inside. So it looks great. Now let's look for the students. One of my students.
Separation of mixtures. Hello, young scientists. Have you ever seen a bowl of cereal with milk or sand mixed with pebbles? These are called mixtures. Today, we're going on an adventure to learn how to separate them. Imagine you have a big bowl of yummy trail mix, nuts, raisins, and chocolate chips all together. How would you pick out just the chocolate chips? That's right. You'd use your hands. This method is called hand picking. It's super easy when the pieces are big enough to see and grab. But what if the pieces are too small to pick? Like tiny bits of iron mixed with sand? We can use a magnet. A magnet pulls only the magnetic things, leaving the others behind. It's like magic, but it's science. Now, what if we have something like rice mixed with tiny husks? We can use winnowing. Winnowing uses the wind or a fan to blow away the lighter parts, while the heavier parts fall down. Farmers use this to separate grains. What about separating sand from water? We can use sedimentation and decantation. First, we let the sand settle to the bottom. This is sedimentation. The heavier sand sinks. Then, carefully pour the water out, leaving the sand behind. This is decantation. It's like pouring out the juice without the pulp. But what if the water is still a little cloudy? We can make it super clean with filtration. Filtration uses a filter, like a coffee filter, to catch tiny bits that are too small to see. Only the clear liquid passes through. What if we have salt mixed with water? We can't see the salt, but it's there. We use evaporation. When we heat salty water, the water turns into steam and goes up into the air. This is evaporation. The salt is left behind. Sometimes we need to separate colors, like in ink. We use chromatography. The water travels up the paper, carrying the different colors in the ink with it. Each color travels at a different speed, separating them. Wow, We've learned so many ways to separate mixtures: handpicking, magnets, winnowing, sedimentation, decantation, filtration, evaporation, and chromatography. Now you're all super separation scientists. Mixtures are everywhere, and now you know how to sort them out. Keep exploring, young chemists.
All right, guys, so that is how you can easily create a storybook by just giving a simple prompt and uploading an image. So that is the technique that I personally use in order to create an engaging, fun activity or fun story to tell my kids or to teach my kids a particular subject, especially as a science teacher. I hope this video was interesting, and if you enjoyed the video, please do not hesitate to hit that thumbs up button and also leave a comment if you have any question. I'm going to gladly respond to all of your questions. And do not forget to hit that subscribe button for the YouTube algorithm. And yeah, as always, I'm going to see you in the next video.